Am I just really early?
No, we got here before, because the bell just went off a few seconds ago.
Oh, true, and then like everyone's on that ag thing.
Yeah.
You know, it might just be like me, you, and like 3 others. Let's see.
Read my book.
Your book.
Oh, Connor?
You'd be surprised, there's not that many people going back.
Huh?
There's not that many people. Not as much as last week.
True. It just seems like really dead in the hallway, so.
Or tell me the chances of Iowa State winning this weekend.
I don't want to.
About 4%.
My vote is always 100.
Oh my god.
It's also delusional.
What? How did you do it so fast? How did you do that so fast?
What?
I literally just gave him that back last.
No, I just took it off my
Oh, what? Oh.
Did she grade that?
John, what number am I?
Two, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't believe me.
I don't know.
Oh, rip.
Thought you were different.
$20 you can't even find it a day later.
It doesn't like say on the jersey, so I really couldn't tell you.
What?
And I just,
It doesn't say on the jersey, so I really
I'm
couldn't
getting
tell you.
in a Suze, or not Suze, Acer, Aspire.
John, can I come over sometime and
the
see him?
NVIDIA GTX.
She went to the volleyball game.
Yeah, I don't know what you
Dude,
said.
Huh?
I-
Yeah, that's $550. I'm gonna buy it.
So,
It
because,
runs ball up floor.
a good thing
Low
happening
rates
tonight.
at like 30 frames per second. So
The
you're
song
basically getting
coming
Xbox.
out.
I don't know what you said.
On your. I'll buy it for a sale.
Yeah, I actually watched.
It's like 60 right now. I bought it for like 20.
What?
And yeah, I bought that. I bought that 25 for 30. Yeah, but you're actually weird.
At first I thought it was a good idea, and then I'm like,
Well, now we're right here on my sale. So like everything's like 50 cents.
So,
There's always a summer.
Hey, we're gonna let Homer say this.
What do you have to pay?
And it's always been online.
You gotta see how long this review takes.
Word, you wanna make a bet on this game Saturday?
Maybe.
Who's on same place? We get to use the study guide on the test.
Iowa.
Iowa wins.
Automatic L.
If Iowa wins, I can pass this quiz.
Nope. Alright. Hey, here we go. Alright, real quick today, we're gonna go through the review of your practice semester test, or practice test, the one that we have on Tuesday next week. Who is going this other than Vermont here? Okay? You guys need a copy of practice test. Okay? We're gonna go over the first page today. We'll go over the second page on Monday. And then we'll be taking the quiz on Tuesday. Now, yesterday we did get an assignment. We got page 53. That was what we got yesterday. For those who are gone, we did talk about area and volume yesterday, so that's something that you will definitely want to watch that video on, so you can see just one example of how to do it. But today we are going to do a quick review on the practice guide. So if you have these out, that'd be a good thing. Does anyone need one that they lost it already after one day? Good. So not that many. All right. So let's start in on it here. So we're going to be reviewing P1 to P4. So you can do a quick review. We're going to do the first page of that practice guide. Practice test. Chapter P. Okay, so our goal here, if you're looking at that practice guide, I'm just going to look at the first page here. We're going to try to get through number 13 today. That's our goal. Now, we'll talk about how to do that problem. I'll put it up on the board here with a projector. We'll walk through like the steps you need. I'll give you a little bit of time each time you get to a problem. We can double check to see if you got it right and know what you're doing. Does that make sense? I'm not going to just turn you loose and have you just, flounder because it doesn't help. I mean, this is supposed to help you to understand what you need to do when you get to the test. Okay? So, let's pop up that up on the board. But we're going to try to go from problem number 1 to number 13 today. That's our goal. Now, the homework that's due. do either Monday or Tuesday, it doesn't matter. So Monday or Tuesday. That's your page on the board, that's your page 53. And this practice guide. I collect these and I give you scores. Now, obviously we do them in class together, so you should be getting very good scores on these. So it's just to help you. So it shouldn't be something that's an extra piece of homework for you. It's something that we do work on, unless you're not here, and then that's a pain. Okay, so let's pop it up on the board here. Let's take a look at these problems. Let's do a quick restart for that. See if it pops up now. If all else fails, I'll just put the problem on the board. So I'm gonna see if this will work. This should be a lot easier than me writing down every single problem. All right, let's take it too long. Seriously, come on. Hey, there we go. Last second. What's the deal? I just mute it. Source. Come on. Shouldn't be this hard. Figure it out. Okay, whatever. I'm over it. Things going out the door later. All right. We have 4 plus 5x minus 7 cubed. All right, now, on this problem number 1, they ask you to evaluate the following expression for the variables. Now, what do they tell you for x? 9, right? On your problem, on your quiz, you'll have something like this. It'll just be an natural expression. You can have numbers, letters like this. You just have to plug in numbers, solve it out. So if you plug in a 9 here, and we have this, what should you do first? Parentheses, right? Parentheses, then do the exponent, then multiply, then add last. Do not do that stupid thing where you add these first. You'll get it wrong, and I make fun of you because you don't know how to do simple algebra. So don't do it. So everyone feel comfortable in the first one. Okay, here's what I recommend. Show some work. Don't just write down an answer. Show what you did to get the answer, at least 1 or 2 steps, so I can see where you went wrong. Because nothing's more frustrating than somebody just making up an answer and it's not true. Okay? So you got to show me something there, because it does take 1 or 2 steps at least. All right, next ones. I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it has the little intersection symbol. Got to really erase. 2, 2, 4, and 5. All right. So the idea is for this symbol, this is the intersection. It's like the Venn diagram. It's what do they have in common? So what do they have in common? 2 and 4. That's what I'm looking for. Notice I put curly braces, you write the numbers down, you put commas in between them. If they don't have anything in common, then you do this. And that's null set, nothing in common. But if they do have something in common, that's how you do it. So do you feel comfortable with for problem number 2? Okay, now number 3 is just the complete opposite of it. They give you 1, 3, 5, 7, and it's a union, and then they got some stuff over here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 7. So on this is a union. It's different. Unions, you write down every number that you see. That's a union. You're combining. You're making a union of everything together. So it's a combination. So you just put all the different numbers that you see all back. Okay. So that would be 1. I see a 2. I see a 3. I see a 4. And you just write them all down. Does that make sense? If there's repeating numbers, you don't need to put repeating. Just put one of them. Does that make sense? Okay. So remember, unions, you put every number that you see. Intersections only if they have something in common. That's the difference. So it's an intersection, unions having. All right. Are we good with problems 2 and 3?
And if there's more than one, like a 3 each side, then you write 1, 3, right?
Just 1, 3. No repeatings. Okay, we good with that? Moving on. Let's go on to number 4. Okay, 4, all they ask you to do on these, just simplify the algebraic expression. So what I mean by simplifying, your problem is a 4, 2y minus 6, a 3, a 5y plus 10. What you need to do first, you need to distribute. Then you can actually do the math and then add up like terms. Okay, your answer, I can guarantee when you look at this problem in the end, you probably have something like a number with a y behind it and probably some number back here. Okay? That's the idea. I can just kind of look at it. I don't know if things will cancel out, but this is what I'd be expecting in your problem number 4. Okay? I don't see anything difficult about that problem. Is there any questions, comments, or concern about that one? Since I'm not really walking through it very far. Okay. I don't want to leave you where you're lost or you don't know what you're doing. These are pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I said you can blitz through this pretty fast, especially this first page. The second page, this is the one I want to spend time on. We need to spend time on problem number 5. It's just a problem. Okay, I know we had one of these in homework, that's why I pulled this one here. Okay, when you look at that problem first, all right, yeah. What do you need to do?
Can't do anything except parentheses or distribute the
Yeah.
one.
Don't add those or subtract them. Don't do that. It's not correct math. Okay? You have to do order of operations, parentheses first. That means you have to jump in here, but you can't even do anything in that parentheses. So you have to distribute the negative sign. So you should be writing this down first. So distribute the negative sign through that parenthesis. Now, if you want, you can combine like terms there. I don't care. You don't even have to. Because then the next thing is now what you'd have to do is just distribute this negative 4 to everything. So that is being multiplied on that parenthesis. And then when you do that, then you can finish the problem. Okay, it's not real hard if you just see, like, there's just simple steps. You do parentheses. You can't do that. You stay in the parentheses and try to finish it out. If you do exponents or whatnot, you do those. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns about that problem? Don't do that thing in the beginning, 4 minus 3, 4 minus, or 7 minus 4, and write a 3. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, 6. 6 should be one of the fastest problems you've ever seen. 2 to the second, to the third. Other question? Okay. All right. 2 to the second to the third. I don't care how you do this. If you want to put the little 3 on the 2, because I know we have the little exponent rules, where you want to multiply that together and make that 2 to the 6th power, fine. If you want to figure out what 2 to the 2nd power is first, and then put it to the power of 3, fine. These all make the same number. They all make the same digit. just want the number. That's all I care about. Okay, I don't care, on that problem, you probably don't need to show work, it's probably easy enough, you can probably figure it out. You know, if I was doing this problem, and I was going this route, this is where I write down, then I write down the answer. That's just what I would do. Okay, are we good with the first page? I know I kind of blitzed through it, sorry. I want to give you time to work on this, work on your homework. Okay, am I giving you enough time where you can actually like finish the problem?
Yeah.
So you're not like waiting, and you're not trying to do it on your own at a later time, that's a nightmare. Okay, let's turn to the back, this is where we're going to need to spend more time. These are probably harder problems, the second page. It's laws of exponents. Okay, that's the first three there, 7, 8, 9. I basically have one of each type. You have the parentheses with power, you have something where you have to multiply parentheses together, and then number 9 you have fractions with negatives. Okay, so that's just something like it's almost like one of each type. So let's talk about number 7 first. Okay, so 7, negative 3x squared y to the 5th squared. What do we need to do? Distribute, yeah. Because this is one item. It's a monomial. I know there's a bunch of stuff on it, but it's a monomial. You can distribute the power 2 to everything. You're allowed to do that. Now, if you're not that person that's comfortable doing that because you don't know the rule, this just means you have 2 of them. So you can write down the 2 parentheses and just multiply the old school way of doing it. It would be the same answer. But when you do this, it's negative 3 squared. You have to square the negative 3. Be careful you don't make that stupid mistake and say that negative 3 squared is a negative 9. It's positive. You squared it. The negative goes away. And then you're going to put the power 2 on each other item, so that's x to the 4th, y to the 10th, something like that. All right. And then you can keep going. I think I only got like one more step. All right, I've already said it. So, all right, on the test, something like that. Give you a parentheses, power, distribute, do whatever you need to. Question?
Why is x to the 3rd?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. I was looking at it.
It's all right, it's a 4. All right, any other questions? All right, let's move on. Now that you have that figured out. All right, negative 9, x to the 3rd, y. We're going to multiply that in another parenthesis. 2x to the 6th, y to the 4th. All right, now in this one, there's no parentheses, there's no distributing power. It's just multiply. That's what you're doing. So the trick is you are just multiplying these 2 numbers. Those are really the only thing you can multiply. They're whole numbers. It's not an unknown. So what do you get when you take a negative 2? Negative 2 times negative 9. 18. Positive 18, right? And then the letters just go in the back. And you just combine them. That's all you're doing. Like these are going to combine with these. So, and then the y's are going to combine. That's a y to the 1, y to the 4. Because this is the only number you could get. The rest of the variables you just add. So the x's, what is there, 9 of those? And then you have so many y's. 5. Okay. All right, is there any questions with that problem? I guarantee you'll have a problem with that. Just something I'm going to ask you to multiply. You just have to know how to do the powers. You could have done that rule for the last problem, like this one. Instead of writing, distributing power 2, you just had 2 parentheses and multiply like this. That's the real math behind it. I just want to make sure that you are comfortable with that. Questions, comments, concerns? Perfect, let's move on. Okay, now, the real tough one. That real nasty little fraction. Okay, so we have negative 15. I bet most of you remember this problem. A to the 4th, b squared, all over 5, a to the 10th, b to the negative 3rd, c to the 0, and this all to the 3rd. All right. Now, I know some people have different strategies for doing this. I'm usually the person that just says distribute first, work with everything second. That's just how I do it. I like to get rid of the parentheses before I start moving stuff. I don't like to cancel stuff out first. The reason why, I know it makes it easier because it makes things smaller, but if you start moving things around and canceling stuff, sometimes like if this is a negative or anything else, like you're going to have to move them right back again. So you just waste time. So I usually just distribute. So this 3 will go to everything. It goes on every single item that's here. And it goes on the power ball. Does that make sense? So what am I gonna get on the top right now? Is we just name that out.
Negative 15 to the third.
Okay, negative 15 to the third. That'll stay in negative numbers, just to let you know. Okay. You go. A to the 12.
B to the 6.
6. All right. Now, does everyone see? We had to multiply the powers, just like before, just like you did over there. Just multiply the powers. Let's go to the bottom row.
5 to the third.
5 third.
A to the 30th.
A to the 30th.
Negative 9.
Negative 9.
And then just 0.
C to the 0. Okay. Now, at this point, what I would probably do, I'd figure out what these numbers are. These are big. Big numbers. 125 is like 3,375 or something like that. Negative. Then you can simplify these. Move this number up. Move the b up here, and these will combine. And what happens to c to the 0? Yeah, it goes away. It's just no longer needed. We don't need it. But there's going to be a's on the left on the bottom. There'll be, 18 of them down there. And then the b's, what will be 15 at the top. But this is the real concern. You got to figure out these numbers. We're going to have something in common. 15 and 5, so I know that when you can simplify the question.
Can you do it like simplify 15 over 5 and then take it to the third?
You could have done that. That's something you could have done up here. You could have simplified this to be negative 3 over 1 and then distribute the 3 to it. You could have done that. I usually wait to the end. It's not a big deal. You could have done it. It would have been the same answer. Okay. Any questions though? Anyone not quite getting that problem? Not understanding what I'm trying to tell you, or you just don't know the answer? Yeah. On these, you will definitely want to have a calculator with you. Like you just will. You'll want that. You'll have the powers big enough. You'll want to know what those numbers are. I have calculators over here. If you've ever borrowed a calculator from me, make sure you always get those back. All right. Any questions with the 7, 8, 9? Perfect. We're on a good pace. 10 and 11. All I'm asking you to do is give me the number. Give me the digit. Okay. I put the exact same description of what the book says. Write the number down without using exponents. That means I want it in digit form, not scientific notation. I want it in digit form. Now, if we look at this problem, that is what? 7 times 10 to the negative 5th. Okay, what does this mean?
You're moving it 5 over.
Yeah, you're moving it 5 over, right? That's literally what a power of 10 means. You're moving the decimal someplace. But what does the negative mean? It's small. That's like your common sense should be telling you. Negative means small. So that means when you're going to move this decimal in the 7, don't make the number bigger by doing this.
You're
Yeah,
gonna have 4 zeros.
you're gonna, don't do that. You're moving it the wrong direction, right? The negative means it's small, like Onyx said. It's common sense. So he knows he has to move the decimal this way. And you have to move it 5 spots. So that's 1 move, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where the decimal's sitting, and then if you have a bunch of blanks, just fill them with zeros. That's how it works. There's your number. If you have a 0 front, fine, negative. Don't care. Notice, is your answer negative? No. The negative power had nothing to do with positive or negative. It just told you where to move the decimal. And I think the best way to think of it is the common sense way, like Onyx said. It's small. That's what negative means for the power. It's a small number. Or it's smaller, I should say. All right. We good on that one? Okay. What's my next one? Is it 10? Here we go.
Scroll. Oh, sorry.
11. Oh, we're on 11. 11 is, what is it? Negative 7.16 times 10 to the 6. All right, common sense. What does that tell me?
Make it bigger.
Big. Big. You're going to make the number bigger, right? And I know the number's negative, don't get me wrong. Some people will argue with me that the number's actually getting smaller, but whatever, I don't care. But the idea is that you're going to move the number so the decimal's going back. So it's a longer number, right? So the decimal's moving back 6 spots like this. Okay? It'll stay negative, I don't care, because I know the negative's out front. That has nothing to do with anything. So, okay, any questions with that? How this works? I just want digit form. So that's all you have to do. That's all I'm going to put there, just some number. You just have to give it to him. You just have to make sure that you write it down to the digit form. It could be a problem where I don't remember. I printed this a while ago. The test anyway. I don't know if I put the opposite there. What I mean by opposite, I don't know. Like in problem number 10 to 11, if I did something like this and told you to write it to scientific notation. I don't know if I did that. I think I just left the same type of problem you have here. But this one, it makes me worried that I could have put like something like this. How would I write this as a number, like power of 10 kind of thing, scientific notation? 3.0 times 10 to what power? Negative 30, yeah. It's negative because this is a really small number, and it's 3 because we're going to move the decimal 3 spots. This is what it would be if you had to write in scientific notation. I don't know if that's what's sitting there. I'll have to look. I don't remember because I printed it up too long ago. All right, last 2 problems of the day. This is it. Last 2. We need to talk about the exponent rules. Okay. I'll put them over here. The rules for the exponents. So we have the square roots. 10x and what is the other one? 8x. Okay. This looked something like your homework problems. I don't know if that was exactly your homework problem, but it was something really close. Just multiply these together. Do that first. Just multiply. So what do you get when you multiply these 2 things together? 80. X squared. Okay. We good with that? You can do that. I mean, you can multiply any type of radical together. You can, as long as they're in radical, you can multiply those. If it's something like this, if you did something like this, only the radicals can be multiplied, and then the 2 just hangs out front. That type of thing. Okay, because that 2 is not in the radicals, so it just hangs out front. Okay, but what was that? You can only add if they're the exact same radicals. Yeah. Multiplying you can do anything, dividing you can do anything. But all right. Now at this point, you still have to simplify it. So you can do the little power rule for figuring out the variables. Some of you said you're just really good at just looking at it. You kind of know what the variable is going to be. That's fine, you can do that. But you do have to break down the 80. 80 is not a perfect square. 81 is. But you have to break down the simplest radical form. I think I even say that. Yeah. Okay, does anyone need me to walk through that? Do we understand how to break down 80? 16 and 5. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about 13. And this, I know this one was one of your homework problems because I had a lot of people ask me this question. On that problem, you're allowed to divide first. You just divide it. What's 24 divided by 3? Okay, what's x to the 4th divided by x? X to the 3rd. Hey. Now you can just simplify that thing.
Even though they're in separate radicals?
Yeah, if they're in separate radicals, you can make it 1 like I did. Because it's just division. Division and multiplication, you just make it into 1. Adding and subtracting, you can't do that, but for division and multiplication, you can. You can just do it like I did. Now you're down to this, well that's easy now. That's simple to do. Now if let's say you couldn't do that. Let's say for some reason it was 24y to the 4th over 5x. Let's say it's that problem. Now what you have to do is since I can't divide these, like I can't do this because they're not even like in common, now I'll have to multiply by whatever's on the bottom and do the old school way of get rid of things off the bottom of the fraction. That's what you have to do. Okay, there'll be something where you just have to simplify a fraction. You have to know your rules. Just get down to simplest form if you can. Okay. Any questions on the first page? Obviously, well, like if I was looking at this, the first page you could blitz through it a minute or 2. Like the problems are easy; they're just simple. Okay? It might take you a while to do the algebra on one of them, but that shouldn't be a problem. The second page probably take you a little more time, especially the laws of exponents. Just kind of thinking about the radicals will take you a while, but that should not be a problem. Okay, do we feel comfortable on Friday's review of this stuff? Okay, hopefully by today you have this page done. Monday we'll do the second page. Make sure you're comfortable with that page. And then Tuesday we'll take the quiz. Okay? We good? Okay, listen, George, you can work on wherever you need to. Especially that homework, that page 53 stuff, if you were gone yesterday. If you were gone yesterday, I really recommend that you watch that video. I know you can't watch it here at school, but it'll go through the volume and area problem so that, because they're not hard, I just wanted to make sure everyone got to see that. And then work together, move around, collaborate where we need to. Gotta figure out the stupid Apple TV.
Or it's just one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just this thing has never worked right. It's never worked right. It always kicks me out. It always restarts. Right now I can't even access it. It's just I don't know if it's the school network problem or if it's just that Apple TV is just had its last day. I just want to throw it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait,
No.
how long have you had it?
4 years maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's almost I think it's considered the second generation Apple TV. So it was the one after they went from the big box down to the small one. I don't know. I don't want to get rid of it, but it's just upsetting me. And I
Should
don't.
we do this first or the homework first?
I did the homework. Yeah, because on Monday we'll finish up the practice guide. Okay. All right, Jackie, what do you think for a little bet here?
What do you think?
I don't know. It's got to be something fun.
Extra point on my quiz.
No, I don't do that.
Can't do it just for you.
Has to be for
Say
the
everyone.
whole.
If Iowa State wins, you have to do the cracker challenge. You have to eat 6 saltine crackers in less than a minute.
That sounds very fun.
It is terrible.
Fries out your
It
mouth.
is very, very hard. I cannot do it. I consider myself a pretty proficient eater. I cannot do it.
Okay.
Bass can't do it either. Bass has tried it multiple times. We're gonna try it on Saturday too at the volleyball.
You are?
It's a world record. You just can't do it.
So you're gonna have me do it even though you know I can't do it?
Yes, because it's funny.
Or when you-
Okay. What should I make you do then?
Name it, but it can't be something like give you more points if you get an A or
What
something.
if we all get more?
Should I make you do the cinnamon challenge?
Oh,
Yes.
oh, I think that's fair.
In
That's
class.
fair. In class,
Spoonful of cinnamon.
Yes.
all right.
And
This
choke down.
period on
Game on.
Monday.
We're gonna watch our teacher throw.
Put it in the video too.
This period on Monday.
I'm about to lose my computer
I don't even know why you'd make the bet.
because I have faith in my team.
I was looking at
I believe
I don't want to.
Makes me want Iowa State fan with faith in his team.
I was looking at.
Are you providing the crackers?
Yes.
Alright, I'll provide the
No
cinnamon.
offense to you, I really don't like HB.
What?
It's some of the questions.
I like HB
I
better.
did already. It's last night.
I need study.
It's
a good harmless bet.
Alright.
I mean,
The cinnamon is no good, but
I think I'm gonna try that
I'm
salty.
looking forward to it.
An HDP or an SSD. Or trying to.
May I go to the office for call report, please?
what was that?
May I go to the office,
My
please?
Yes.
flyer down in order.
How specific do you have to know, like, all these properties?
Just play the properties.
I'm playing Alan Millis.
I don't know. Yeah. Is that? Because if it's like multiple choice, like I'll be able to tell, like, okay, that was obviously liquid, that was obviously solid. Like if we got a state, like all the properties of like solids and liquids and. Yeah, I know. I know, there's no extra credit.
Wait, you can't retake?
Not unless you fail.
I might have to fail.
So the camera's kind of iffy halfway through.
I know. I think it's.
Wait, for what?
You won't hear. Can you retake any tests still like in the handbook?
Say it again.
Like if you don't like your score, or do you have to fail?
Yeah, I think for certain teachers you have to fail, but.
I think the rule is you have to fail, then it's a mandatory retake. But most teachers just allow you to retake if you
Yeah,
wish.
'cause Ryan got
Wait,
like a
what can you
91 or
retake?
something.
Advanced care.
No.
I got a 95 on
Unless you like fail it, or you get like a really bad score, like below like a 70
I
or
thought you
something.
said below 70.
Okay, maybe it's 70, but still, like,
So,
70
if you got a 7, yeah, if you get like an 80,
You
then
get
Drew, what's a 70? A C?
C minus.
What's
C minus.
too?
A 7, no, shoot.
So if you're not feeling good, then you just gotta vomit.
If you're not feeling good, don't put any fill in the blank answers.
And just retake it.
Oh darn, I happened to get 12.
I just happened.
That's the problem with the system. If you're gonna let them retake, just retake at any
It's
point.
broke if you're so much smarter.
System, you've already figured out the broken strategies.
I don't know.
I just didn't get, I didn't get my.
Hey, when is your test?
Tuesday?
Today.
Fifth period.
Oh.
Today? Well, I'd recommend you probably study.
We're studying, I'm
Okay.
studying, I don't know what these guys are doing, but I'm studying. Well, I'm studying.
I'm studying.
More likely instead of
Yeah,
like
kid.
thinking out for the past.
Seth was one of the most.
It's like 6 times.